Welcome everybody to a look at a brand new Radiance Films limited edition release, and it is 1973's Messiah of Evil. So yeah, this new box artwork is really rather quite minimalist, but that kind of sums up the film in some regards. But yeah, there's a side profile of it, and there is the rear. So yeah, this is directed by Willard Hike and Gloria Katz, who hadn't really done much since this one. Willard did direct Howard the Duck, bit of a random film to go on to after this, but they are both well known for writing Temple of Doom, the second Indiana Jones film, so which kind of is tonally somewhat similar to this. It's a supernatural horror clocking in at 89 minutes long, stars Mariana Hill, who was in the likes of The Godfather Part 2, but I've only seen her in High Plains Drifter, as well as Roy O'Donnell, who I've seen in 10 other films. He's mostly a character actor. He's only never really been in big roles that I've seen, but he was in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which we can all agree is a really rather great film. It also stars Elisha Cook Jr., who I've seen in 14 other films. Again, he's like a character actor like Roy O'Donnell, but he was in far more well-known films like The Maltese Falcon and the original House on Haunted Hill. So yeah, this is about a young woman who is searching for a missing artist's father, who finds herself in the strange seaside town of Point Dune, which seems to be under the influence of a mysterious undead cult. So yeah, although this is not the best acted film, thanks to some of the lead actors, none of whom I've mentioned, the three that I have mentioned are actually really rather good, but Elisha Cook Jr. and Roy O'Donnell only have really quite small roles in this. It's only Mariana Hill who has the larger role out of the three, but the rest of the cast, yeah, really rather underwhelming. I think several of them haven't even really been in much before or since this film, so which kind of sums up their acting ability. And the pacing certainly could be a little tighter. Yes, it is an 89-minute film, but there are quite slow moments, especially in the first act, that could be a little bit more tightly paced. But this still managed to be an engrossing effort, thanks to the good build-up of atmosphere and tension, along with the on-point cinematography and really rather well done score. The lighting is also really rather effective in this. It reminded me of Giallo films from Italy. It kind of is an American Giallo in some regards. The weird imagery and backstory behind the supernatural goings on are also effective. The violence, though not explicit for the majority of its running time, is still well executed, and yeah, it does leave your imagination to do some of the legwork, which I always like in a horror film. And the sense of dread is unnerving as it simmers underneath the general plot. So yeah, really, really good film, to be honest. I've seen some people that have hated this, they found it dull or far too slowly paced, but I think the pacing, even though it could be a little bit better in the first act, does to get things going quite quickly, and then which would help you settle into the rest of the film, is on the whole generally rather good, and yeah, it does aid the rest of the film. So it's a bit tightly packaged, this is. So yeah, like I said, you get this nice box to go with it. This is the first limited edition single disc box that Radiance Films have done. The only other boxes they've done have been for box sets with multiple films in. So yeah, this is the first single release that they've done like this, kind of like what Indicator has done in the past, which something I really rather enjoy. And then you get new artwork for the case itself. So if you've seen the film, you'll know what these windows mean. And then you've got the printed disc, which comes with the original artwork behind the disc itself, which again I also like. So I like all of the different artwork that this has got going on, either the new artwork or the original artwork. And yeah, you also get a really rather thick booklet in this. This is easily one of the thickest books I've done outside of a box set, which has all of that on it. So yeah, inside we have cast and crew. Then we have Some People Do Like His Brand of Art from 2023 by Bill Ackerman. Then we have a model actress, a tribute to Anita Ford, and Anitra Ford even, from 2023 by Amanda Reyes. Then we have the Neon Stucco Towns of California Gothic from 2023 by Joseph Dwyer. The place that this is set in, by the way, is a real place. It's in California, and it looks like a really rather pretty place to be in, although in this film it looks quite desolate, which does fit the general tone. You got Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, Lovecraft, Cults, and the Uncanny in Messiah of Evil from 2023 by Larissa Glasser. Then you got Eyes Are the Windows of the Soul, Gateways to American Despair in Messiah of Evil. also from this year by Andy Marshall Roberts. Then you got the transfer notes and credits. So this has had a using the only surviving element of Messiah of Evil is a 35mm print in the collection of the Academy Film Archive. The archive created the 4K scan at Radabat Entertainment. The film was then restored using Digital Vision's Phoenix finish and color correction, which was carried out using DaVinci Resolve. Audio restoration was performed by Isotope RX8. Not entirely sure what that means, but yeah, it definitely does look good. And for a film that, you know, was apparently is the only surviving print, which probably means that, you know, it wouldn't have been in the best state if it was the only surviving print. And yeah, it looks as good as it does is really rather a testament to all of the work that went into this film. And on disc futures include the likes of a audio commentary by critics Kim Newman and Stephen Thrower, archival interview with Willard Hike. You've got When the Blood Moon Brings Messiah of Evil, or What the Blood Moon Brings Messiah of Evil, even. A New American Nightmare, a documentary which explores Messiah of Evil in the context of American independent cinema of the 1970s, as well as examining the film's allegiance to several subgenres of horror film. Then you've got a visual essay by critic Kat Allinger. You've got new subtitles and all of the reversible sleeves and new artwork that you've seen here. So, yeah, really quite pleased with this. It's not as excellent as I expected it to be, granted. The trailer, for instance, made this look a lot better than it actually is. And there were some reviews I saw on Letterboxd that were giving it 4.5 and 5 stars, which kind of hyped me up a little bit more. But it's still a solid 4 out of 5 film. It's just not quite as great as I figured it would be, but neither is it as bad as I've seen other people call this film. So, yeah, overall, a really good effort and a really enjoyable one at that. And it's really nice to have this release from Radiance Films, as it is obviously celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. So, yeah, get out there and see it if you haven't already, especially if you're into your 70s horror that is a little bit off kilter. You know, it's not quite the mainstream kind of horror film that a lot of other films from that time were. But it's still well worth seeing in its own right, even outside of all of the other elements going for it. So, yeah. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.